welcome back to Current Talk Podcast. I'm Cameron,
And I'm Faith.
and man, oh man, oh man, has it been some time?
It has.
I literally was just talking to Faith before we started recording this episode that we not only haven't uploaded a podcast episode since February of this year, so a good 8-9 months, but on top of that, we haven't given you guys a proper life update since August of 2020. So if that doesn't, just sum up what, life is,
Yeah.
that is just the sum up there. So much has happened, and we have a lot to update you guys on everything. So, we're actually going to be doing this in 3 separate episodes. This is Life Update Part 1, 2021 recap. So, Faith and I are just going to be giving you a brief rundown of what's been happening. I mean, it's been a long time, and we have quite a bit to say, but I'm sure a lot of you do follow us on our socials, which if you don't follow us, at Jedi Master on Instagram and Cameryn Hodges on Instagram. Follow us for the real time updates. But we're going to start off with sophomore year. So we ended up living in a townhouse for our sophomore year of college. We lived with our two good friends that we are actually still roommates with today, Faith and Amani and Lisette. If you're listening to this, we appreciate you, love you guys. And it was an experience. Yeah, I just enjoyed that time. We were in the closest townhouse to the rest of campus, so it was a nice little, area there. But yeah, I don't know, Faith, what are your thoughts about living in the townhouse sophomore year?
I mean, compared to the apartment that we are currently living in now, it was much it was better quality. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
It was also
for
further
sure.
from everything on campus, and I just dreaded those walks even though we didn't have to go a lot of places because of COVID and all that. Still, like walking to a few classes. Like I had a lab last year, and I dreaded that walk, especially when it was like 10 degrees outside. But I really enjoyed the townhouses. I think I kind of took that for granted,
Yeah.
considering that we're living in the apartments. I'm not saying that the apartments are like terrible, but I just felt like we kind of got like a downgrade, which
Yeah.
bad for
I
saying that, but
yeah.
that's the truth.
I definitely agree. I really hope no one for that works. You guys is listening to this episode. But the townhouses are not. They're so much better than the apartments in a sense of it's weird because the apartments are newer, but the townhouses are just so nice.
I
So
think,
it's like the apartments, especially where we live, we're not going to disclose where we live, for security reasons, but
yeah,
it's not the cleanest apartment.
no,
We when we moved in, literally, and I told my roommates this, literally, I found like trash on the mattress,
ugh,
dirt on the carpet,
no.
the windows had its own issues. And to this day, I still kind of feel just like unsanitary,
Mm,
taking a shower,
yeah.
just kind of being in the bathroom in general. And sometimes even in my room, I mean, I tried to scrub down as much as I could on move-in day, but it's just not the cleanest thing. But
Yeah.
we do what we can.
Mhm. I'm
But
gonna
it's okay. I definitely think though whatever happens next year, we will definitely be weighing our options for sure regarding living just because the townhouses they are farther from everything, but they are a lot nicer.
Yeah. I actually do think that the apartments may be older than the townhouses. And
Mhm.
also, like, another thing with the apartments, I mean, Cam probably hasn't gotten a lot of this, like, in her own room, but I've been getting a lot of spiders. Like, I sometimes, like, I don't even know where these spiders come from. Like I've seen like what, three of them in my room this semester, and then one just like came out of the shower, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Don't you remember, Cam, like the time I came back from clinical and I was about to take a shower and I literally couldn't take a shower as my bathrobe because there was a spider coming out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't.
And it's just so unfortunate because you would think like residence life, some custodian, just anyone get in there and disinfect the place before students move in. And
Yeah,
we literally moved into a used place. And I understand we're in this pandemic type situation, but then I kind of don't understand just because other
yeah,
people that have moved into other situations haven't had these issues, but nonetheless we only have, which is really crazy to say, we only have one more semester in
oh
that
wow,
apartment,
yeah,
and I literally just can't fathom even that. That is kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, we will see what happens regarding living next year. But moving along, the next topic of discussion of sophomore year, Faith got accepted to nursing school. Yay!
yay! Yeah,
Very exciting.
I was really excited. I was
Mhm,
so excited for what the future holds for me. Even
mhm.
now, even after finishing one semester of nursing school, we're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year was really just happy. The fact that I got a nursing school and all the things that I was just excited for and just like excited learning about. So I was very relieved when I got the acceptance letter, and I was like, oh, thank God. So that's good.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah.
That was a very exciting time. We, not just me, the roommates are all very proud of that accomplishment. And then Faith also got a job at Best Buy, which she is currently
Yay.
still working,
I'm
which
still
we love
working.
a work.
The funny thing is that I just came from like a 7-hour shift. We gotta love
Mhm.
those customers, especially during the Christmas time.
Look,
You
we
know,
love a working woman.
we
I
do.
definitely applaud you for working over the holidays. I definitely had my fair share of that working at Old Navy last year, which that is
Mhm.
a story for another podcast episode. We're not going to talk about that today. But to all these workers, if you're listening to this podcast and you are currently working, not just a job, but any job, like anything, kudos to you, hardworking woman, men out there getting your coin. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yes. Um,
especially
but
during the pandemic.
especially during these pandemic, we still
Yeah,
have people not wearing masks. We still have people not getting the vaccine. Get
yeah.
the booster shot if you haven't already. This Omicron, we can't be playing around.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, But oh yes, also to recap sophomore year, the summer, so this past summer 2021, I ended up doing a Disney professional internship for Disney branded television. If you
Yay.
don't, thank you. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, which is at Cameryn.Hodges, you should follow me. Uh, I posted a lot on there regarding all of the updates, everything I got to do, the people I got to meet. It truly was, and to this day, I truly can testify that that literally was one of the best experiences of my life. I've met and connected and networked with so many people all across the world just through that internship alone. And I'm just excited to get a foot in the door to a company that I see myself working professionally in the future. And it was just a great time. If you, again, want more details on that, you can watch all my YouTube videos that I made over the summer. Anyways, that is all we have to say about that there. But yeah, that was sophomore year. It was a great year. Lots of memories were made, but we are now juniors,
Yeah.
and I literally can't believe it. But yeah, we touched on earlier that we currently live in an apartment with our second year roommates, Lissa and Amani. Shout out to them again. They're awesome.
Yep.
Again, the apartment situation, that is a whole thing.
Yeah.
That's all we have to say there. But I still just can't believe we have one more semester
Yeah.
roommates in that apartment. That still kind of blows my mind, and we
Yep.
will be keeping you guys up to date regarding our living situation for our senior year of college. I can't believe I'm even
Yeah.
saying those words out loud.
Wow.
Like, we literally register for housing for next semester. Like,
That's crazy.
I can't.
I
Ugh.
can't either. Oof.
But we are now getting into the most anticipated update of the episode. Faith is going to recap her first semester of nursing school. Before you start, we need a round of applause just for that. If you
Oh,
have if you have a hand free nearby, just go ahead and clap your hand.
oh,
Yes.
that was it was interesting, let me tell you. And I'm pretty sure if anyone is in nursing school, has went through nursing school, you know it. You know probably what I'm going to say. But I feel like for those of you who are very interested in going to nursing school, I'm going to be honest. I have two things to say. Number one, get your finances and coins together because nursing school is expensive. Not only the tuition, but honey, those books, okay? I spent a pretty penny on these books. And I'm pretty sure my nursing student classmates can say the same. So save your coins and just make sure you're watching out for those scholarships because they will come in handy. Let me tell you that. A second thing that I will say is get your mental health together. Because let me tell you, nursing school is not easy. There have been a few times this semester where I actually broke down crying, and Cam knows one
I
particular situation.
Before before you continue, I can testify to that. I have witnessed one, and that just already just goes to like, you guys already know who listen to our podcast. They even go to our school. Faith and I, we have a very strong bond. We're like
Yeah.
this. She's my best friend. We do this
Hmm.
podcast, and that literally, I remember that day, that night when she broke down crying just about
Yeah.
nursing school. I was like, yes, like, this is something you definitely take seriously. And again, kudos to all these nursing students. I can't say again, you guys are literally rock stars for putting yourselves through this. Not everyone
Yep.
can do it, not everyone can get through it, let alone a whole semester. So I just give full kudos to everyone that is on this journey, and I am rooting for you. I'm your personal cheerleader. Thank you so much for being you,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yep. And the thing though too, what I will say to that is, I feel like a lot of the things that I was crying about weren't really that huge. Like and I'm pretty sure like some people who've went through nursing school can maybe testify to this, that in the moment it seems pretty bad, but hopefully it'll get better. Most of the time it does get better. I feel like if you continue to push and stuff, you'll get through it. Just how I got through my first semester, but in the moment it may seem overwhelming. And honestly, I'll be completely honest, like there have been some nights where I've been in my bed and I couldn't sleep because I was just so stressed out for an exam. And it's sad that I'm saying this, but
Yeah.
that's nursing school. And
Mhm.
you know, the teachers, I mean, I've been blessed with some really good professors, but sometimes professors can only do so much. So but it's I feel like you know me and a lot of people in my class, like we've grown a lot, and I think there's been moments where there have been wake up calls for us, and things that we needed to get our life together in. And just talking with a lot of, nursing students, I feel like, after our first semester, there are some things that, like, some of us want to change, like how we study, how we approach things, how we manage our time, you know. And honestly, like, I need to manage my time more, because sometimes, I'm not motivated sometimes to do stuff that I know I should be doing. Um, but it's a journey. It really is. But yeah, going back to that mental health, it's very important. And honestly, do what you need to do. Whether that's going home a couple of times, if you can, or talking to a therapist. That is truly helpful. Um, and just having a support system, even if it's, friends, your fellow nursing classmates, that is truly helpful. And just like having someone that you can come to, especially a nursing student, and like just talk to about classes and all the stressful stuff. Because yeah, there have been a lot of those moments where I really lean on a lot of my nursing classmates, because they're the ones that get me, and also my mom, because she's a nurse, so like she knows, she knows the
Mhm.
struggle. But
Yes.
yeah, those are the two things that I would say. Another thing that I feel that would help too is, obviously, if you guys have done your research, if you are interested in nursing school, there's a test called the NCLEX, which is what you take to get your nursing license. And so one thing that I would um, kind of encourage is getting a NCLEX book. Currently don't have one, but will get one soon, because I do find that would be helpful for me. Um, and that is something that I'm planning to get. So, and if you're a pre-nursing student, I would probably wait a little while, just so right before nursing school you can get like the most recent one, because they do change, I feel like, every year. And the thing that's a little scary about it too is, I'm not graduating next year, but like the year after. And I actually heard that they're updating the test. So we're going to take a new version of the NCLEX. So isn't that lovely? Very lovely. And I've been
Yeah.
hearing some crazy stuff. I don't know if they're true. I'm not even going to say the stuff that I heard, because I don't want to scare anybody. But I've been hearing some crazy stuff that they're doing. I hope it's not true. I really do hope it's not true. But I've heard some crazy things that they're trying to do, and I'm like, oh, really? I really hope, nothing is gonna happen. Oh, I'm sorry about that. There was an alarm. Sorry
You're
about that, guys.
good. No,
Um,
you're good. You're good.
but yeah, that is, a few things that I would say. Also, I kind of talked about this a little bit, but find people in your program that you can form a friendship with, that you can talk to with, study with, all that. It is, while it is possible to like go through nursing school without like a support group and stuff, I would encourage it, especially if you have that opportunity. And if you like, a lot of people in your class, I would encourage it, just because, sometimes they can, studying with other people sometimes can be distracting, but it depends on the people. And sometimes you can really like learn things from other people, and just do better on exams and understand the material more. So I would totally get, find your group of people, because that is very important.
Mhm.
But yeah, just you know if you're in nursing school, hang in there. I know it's rough, I know it's hard. And honestly, like, there's been times, not that I've questioned like my, what I want to do, but it's like, oh my gosh, like this is a lot, especially
Yeah.
in clinical. Like I didn't realize how much like work goes into clinical. For those of you who may not be in nursing school, I don't know if it's probably not the same in like every program, but I know for my program for clinical, we have like what 10, 14 pages to fill out every time, and it's a lot, you know. And for us, like we have to connect things that we see and all that. So it takes a lot of time. Like I spend hours on those data sheets. And if anyone has done a data sheet or clinical care plans, you know, you know the struggle. But it's all gonna be worth it if this is the profession that you truly want to be in. It'll all be worth it. It's hard. You may cry, but along the way. But you know, hopefully everything will work out. And most to be honest, I feel like a lot of people, even if like they struggle in nursing school, they still become nurses, and it doesn't matter if you're the top of your class or you're struggling a lot. I feel like everyone will eventually become a nurse. And honestly, some of the like best nurses may not, do great academically. You know what I mean? And you don't have to have like a perfect, GPA or grades to be a great nurse. And I feel like that's what I had to learn, is that, sometimes it's what you remember and the skills that you bring, more than like sometimes what you know. I mean, obviously you need to know stuff, right? You need to know what the Jackson is. You need to know, priorities and all that, your ABCs. But you know, um, sometimes, I mean, grades do matter, but as long as you're not failing, that's that's a good thing. If you're passing your
Mm.
classes, that's good. That's good. That's good enough. So that's all that I will say.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, if I have anything else, I'll like pop in. But that's kind of all
Yeah.
that's coming out of my mouth right now. So
Yeah, and I really hope everyone that's listening to this episode, you fully receive that as just as I did just now. Even someone that's not in nursing school, and just like literally, hearing everything. Like I just remember, like over the course of the semester, it would either be every day, every other day, weekly, literally all the time. I would constantly hear updates regarding Faith nursing school journey, especially the first semester. And just from hearing everything of what Faith has gone through, a couple of nursing students that we both know what they've gone through, it truly is its own adventure. And I'm just excited just to see everyone continue to do well and continue to go through this experience. And, you know, this time in 2023, y'all will be full nurses.
wow.
It's weird because I want to say this time next year, but it's not 2022 yet. So, but literally this time in January, y'all will literally be almost a nurse, like a full nurse, which is so
Wow.
crazy. So I'm honestly very proud of you, Faith. I'm very proud of everyone. If you're a current the UIC nursing student that's also on this journey with Faith, I'm proud of you too. And I'm just excited just to see everyone continue to go to this experience. And I'm just overall excited. It's definitely one of those things that I personally wouldn't know what it's like if I didn't, know Faith and just hear like all the up to date of what is happening regarding nursing school. But I definitely have so much respect for each and every nursing student that is on this journey. So keep going. I know it's hard, but you guys are doing an awesome job. And like Faith said, it doesn't matter what the grades, as long as you know you're applying everything you're learning in your classes, and that you are just receiving everything. I think that at the end of the day is what matters for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so that is the nursing school update. We are currently recording this Wednesday, December 22nd. So Faith and I are both completely done with the fall 2021 semester.
Yep.
Grades were for UIS grades were posted this past Saturday. I did receive all A's this semester, and I think I also did make the dean's list. I think the cutoff for is 3.75, and I got a
Awesome.
3.78. So
Yay.
I'm excited about that. I'm sure it'll probably be posted when we go back to school, but that is that. I really did. This is actually the first semester of college so far where I can genuinely say I've enjoyed each and every one of my classes to the fullest. Simply because everyone knows your junior year, especially your first semester, is when you really take your classes that you originally go to school for. So I was all in all my classes. If you're curious, I took digital media web, which was a web design class, which I thoroughly enjoyed. That class was so much fun. I also took digital media animation. That was a lot of fun. Lisette and I were in, I know Lisette's listening to this. We were in this visual storytelling and reporting class, which, it was an experience with the professor, but, we still made it out. And it was, an interesting class, learned a little bit. And then I also took photojournalism and photo documentary, which was a really great videography, photography class. And then next semester, we will take more classes regarding that realm. But it was a good semester. I enjoyed it all. I had good professors, and I'm just excited for what's to come next year with courses. So that's our mini class overview. So sorry. Some okay. And then the last thing we have on our schedule today is I'm just gonna briefly recap. I don't know why I'm laughing right now. We're gonna briefly recap my Disney trip. So if you again don't follow me, I don't know why I'm laughing right now. Cameron, calm down. We're gonna briefly recap my Disney trip. I don't know why I'm laughing right now. Okay, pull it together. So if you didn't know, again, if you don't follow me on Instagram or subscribe to my YouTube channel, I can't. Keep in mind, it's almost 9 o'clock, so that's just fun. Did
Yeah.
not get a lot of sleep last night. This is the energy we're on.
Same,
That
girl.
coffee
Same.
did not work. Okay, I think I have it together. Okay, so our last update is going to be me recapping my Disney trip. So, again, if you don't follow me on my socials, which is at Cameryn.Hodges on Instagram and Cameryn Grace on YouTube, go subscribe. I did a whole video series of my trip. I went during my Thanksgiving break, and it was a fun time. I went with my whole family. We did the whole shebang. We had matching shirts. We were there for almost a week. And it is my second home. I love Disney World. Disney, if you're watching this, please sponsor this podcast. Anyway, it was a great experience. Hope to go again soon. And yeah, that's it. Again, if you want more details, you know where to find me. But yeah, that is all we have for today's life update episode. This again is part one, so we will be doing two more parts to this mini recap series of kind of getting current talk back on its feet. Again, if you have any podcast topic ideas, or if you just want to add to the conversation, you can email us, which our podcast email is at current talkpodcast at gmail.com. And if you want to get any live updates regarding our podcast, you can follow our podcast Instagram, which is at Current Talk Podcast. We post a lot of Q&A polls and just updates on there. It's a fun time. But yeah, I'm very excited for what's to come with this podcast. We are trying a lot of new things this upcoming year for 2022 with the YouTube channel and just trying incorporating video into our podcast. So we hope you guys enjoy that as well. We also are getting more creative with regarding guests and reaching out to some people that we will hopefully be speaking on the podcast with if all goes well.
Yeah.
But again, if you also are listening to this podcast episode and you have an idea for guests that you would like to hear on here, again, contact us. We will get back to you. Any suggestion is accepted. But yeah, I think that's gonna end this episode if you don't have
Yeah.
anything else, Faith. Again, we appreciate you guys listening to our podcast. I'm very excited to get back into doing this. This is honestly a lot of fun for me, and I'm sure it is for Faith. And I'm just
Mhm.
excited to see what the new year brings. Again, definitely go subscribe to the Current Talk Podcast YouTube channel. This recording will be uploaded sometime in the new year as our first episode of the year coming up in the next week. So definitely keep your eye out on that. And then if you are a normal podcast listener and you just prefer hearing audio, Apple, Spotify, Google, all the things, you'll still be able to listen to Current Talk there. But yeah, that's going to be it for this podcast. Thank you guys so much again for listening and your support. And we will talk to you guys in our next episode of Current Talk Podcast. Bye.
Bye.